on this Thursday morning. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show. On the road today, we are broadcasting from a building known as The Point. It was the former ISD location on Gratiot, the famous A building, A-frame building, which is now The Point and houses a whole bunch of businesses, including Pinnacle Realty, Miles Market, where we're sitting right now, Sips Coffee Shop. But among other things here at The Point, every year there is a sand sculpture contest, and that's coming up this weekend starting today. We're going to talk about that and lots more this morning with the owner of The Point and all those businesses contained therein and more, and she is Linda Shepard.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Linda. So you're laying in bed one night and saying, I've got to have a sand contest.
Well, it wasn't as easy as that. Actually, John Martinez, who heads up the whole thing from the art studio.
Hear from,
Yep. Him and I have done a ton of marketing together over the years, and during COVID, they were supposed to be down at Robbers Park, and it got canceled because of COVID. So now he's got 16 sculptures coming into town. What do I do? And hey, let's just do it here. I didn't know what we were getting into. And at that point, Sips was just opening. We didn't even have Miles Market. The building was not.
As we see it today.
Yeah, today. So just fascinating. Well, we had it. We had a great time, and because they used quarry sand, they lasted for 3 months. It was just such a neat thing to do. Well, we just thought we got to do this again. So now we are here 5 years later.
Yep, every year. So they start sculpting today.
Today at noon.
They go tomorrow, and then Saturday is the judging day?
Yep, they have 48 hours. Trowel's up at noon, trowel's down at noon on Saturday.
And then the judging takes place,
yes.
And the awards are given out.
Yep, which you're one of our judges this year. And
looking forward to it.
We judge on everything from character to height to how difficult it was. Like one year we had a butterfly that had holes in its wings. That thing lasted, and it had to be 5.5 feet tall. It was just the coolest thing. That lasted for so long, and we were taking bets on when it was going to cave in, and it didn't. Because they used the quarry sand, which goes together like puzzle pieces, because a lot of people do ask, are they using glue? Are they using adhesives of any sort? No, it is just water and sand.
Yeah, it's like an interlock.
Yep. Because it's not been rolled.
Yeah, if you put the pieces under a microscope, they're jagged.
Yep, they look like puzzle pieces. That's how these experienced people explained it to me. So.
Yeah. So I want to talk about a number of things this morning. We'll come back to the sand sculptures, but let's start with real estate.
Oh, Lord, that's a big old can of worms. No, real estate's fantastic still. Everybody is still living their dreams, buying, selling. You hear so many things on the news with the new NAR rules, and, we're not supposed to say NAR, you're supposed to say National Association of Realtors.
You say what you want, I'll say NARS.
Super, okay. Everybody just last April threw their hands in the air, and this was ridiculous, and now I understand the whole outcome from it, and it hasn't changed anything. We're still doing business. We're still representing our clients, whether it's seller side or buyer side. You're doing your best due diligence for your clients.
Is the real estate market vibrant right now?
Oh, yeah. It always is. I mean, we've had our slowdowns. In January it gets a little slow, but people still need a house to stay in. They're still getting pretty good interest rates now. Not as great as they were. We're not seeing the 2s and 3s, and that's why a lot of sellers aren't selling because they're sitting on those 2 to 3. They don't want to go up to 5 and 6. But at 6%, you get in that. That's a balance. That's not a bad rate.
It's a livable rate.
Yeah, it's a livable rate. It's not 9, 10, 11. I mean, let's talk about the 80s. 20, 25%? Come on.
But the question is, and probably will be for quite some time, what are we doing for starter homes?
We need more, but...
Can't afford to build them, though.
No, but you still got builders building. So, yeah starter homes generally.
Starters.
No, not really. Not really. I mean, there's a new nice duplex that just went on over off of Gratiot, and I mean, that's going to be a nice duplex for somebody to get into because I think they're going to be around that 200,000 mark, and that's doable.
Yeah,
so,
that's doable.
Yeah.
But cost of construction
is ridiculous. So,
because you figure a starter home, and I'm just going to pick numbers out of the air. Let's say a starter home is 12 to 1,500 square feet.
Yep.
Small, nice home.
Yep.
At the old price of $100 a square foot, you could get into it at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
At $300 plus a square foot, now you're talking about over $400,000 for a starter home.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not seeing that. You're not seeing that in this area.
I don't know where you would see it.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It,
And we're going to need a lot of housing because there's a lot of companies looking for a lot of people right now in this area.
yeah. It'd be nice to see prices go down, but we know we're not going to see that.
It's going to be, I think, the main construction is going to be multifamily dwellings.
I agree with that. And I think
Whether
people
it's
are
apartments
going.
or condos.
And I think there is a trend for people to live a little bit smaller and not going out to the 25 to 30 or 3,000 square feet home. I think that people are living small. I know even personally, I love living smaller. It's easy. I can clean it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, well,
And I think that is going to be a trend. But you're also seeing families that are living together now. Generational
Yeah,
people
that's
living
true.
together.
but I understand it because I got a big old farmhouse on River Road. But I only live on the first floor. Nobody ever goes upstairs. We have stuff upstairs,
Yeah.
but the way the old farmhouse was, there was no heat upstairs. It was, it went
Gravity.
through grates. The heat rose through the grates. So we have electric heaters up there. If the kids come and they want to stay, that's
Yeah.
where they go. But I don't go up there.
No.
I'm in my confined space that I choose to do.
I agree. And, I think the trend of Gen X hopefully will be that they're selling, downsizing. We haven't seen the downsizing, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, that we saw around the early 2010s. You saw a lot more people downsizing.
Yeah, but still, we're still looking at interest rates.
Right,
You're
but then
right.
everybody just shrunk up and stayed where they were because they just couldn't afford to
Right.
do something
But
smaller.
if I've got a 2 or 3% rate, I'm not going into a 6. As balanced as a 6 may sound,
Right.
that doubles my interest.
Right, and I'm not going from 2,500 square feet down to 1,200 square feet for the same price. That
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
make sense.
It doesn't
so,
make sense.
yeah, it's an interesting market, but we're busy. Pinnacle's busy. We're
Well,
having
I
a
know
great
every time I talk to you, I got a showing, I got a listing, I got a...
Yep, I'm listing a beautiful house tonight. So it's just, it always chugs along.
Well, it has to.
It does.
It has to.
It does, because it's the basis for everything else.
And the realty business is still good.
Good, super good.
Yeah.
We've got some great agents. We just had another agent come on, and agents, it's a lifestyle. It's not a 9 to 5, and so a lot of agents do get in, and then they, whoa, what do you mean I can't go up north? What do you mean you want to see it at 7 o'clock
Yeah.
on a Friday night? Real estate is a lifestyle, and you have to just be able to roll with showing houses on Sunday right after church or Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Well, and if you don't like the lifestyle, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. All right, well, we will talk a lot more with Linda in just a couple of moments about many other things going on, including the Sand Sculpture Contest here at The Point, Pinnacle Realty, and Miles Market, where we are with fabulous food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and lots of sweets in the cases, case after case after case of donuts, sweets, and wonderful coffee and sips. Got it all here, folks. We'll tell you more about it when we return. Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at Quick Lane in Freeland, right next to McDonald Ford. They're on the McDonald Ford property, and they have a product to help you with your allergies. And this is allergy season, and a lot of people have been suffering with allergies. But if you don't want to suffer from allergies in your car, let me make a suggestion that you stop into Quick Lane Freeland and find out about FrigiFresh. Now, if you want to know about it, listen to this from John at Quick Lane.
FrigiFresh. Hi.
FrigiFresh and Quick Lane, Freeland, next to McDonald Ford. And since you're there on the McDonald Ford property, if you might be thinking of a new car, you might want to take a look at all the Fords they have in stock, because they have done a great job of stocking their lot. All the latest models at prices that are affordable, and lots of financing available. Stop in and visit them at McDonald Ford and Quick Lane Freeland. Together, they are there to serve your automotive needs.
Warmer weather is here.
And this is the Fox Business Report.
Delta Airlines is holding up better than it was predicting back in April, but still not at the pace it forecast at the start of the year. Economic uncertainty is keeping some people from booking flights. Its spring quarter earnings top forecast, CEO Ed Bastian says the second half of the year could pick up as questions around global trade get worked out. Costco sales jumped 8% in June. Costco's monthly numbers included July 4th, which means the holiday included shopping for Father's Day, Juneteenth, and Independence Day. Ford is recalling 850,000 vehicles from the 2021 to 23 model years because of a fuel system issue. There are 28 different models involved in the recall. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
It's an interesting time for business. Tariff and trade policies are dynamic, supply chains are squeezed, and cash flow tighter than ever. If your business can't adapt in real time, you're in a world of hurt. You need total visibility, from global shipments to tariff impacts to real-time cash flow. That's NetSuite by Oracle, your AI-powered business management suite, trusted by over 42,000 businesses. NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP for many reasons. It brings accounting, financial management, inventory, HR into one suite. You have one source of truth giving you the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. With real-time forecasting, you're peering into the future with actionable data. And with AI embedded throughout, you can automate a lot of those everyday tasks, letting your team stay strategic. NetSuite helps you know what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, download the free ebook Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/quick. That's netsuite.com/quick.
This is a test. This is a test of the emergency.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, coming to you from The Point, home of Pinnacle Realty, Miles Market, Sips, and of course this weekend is a big sand sculpture contest going on. Started today, starts at noon actually today, and then runs through noon on Saturday, and then the judging will take place. We're going to talk to the organizer here in just a couple of minutes, but the gal responsible for all of this sitting in front of me right now, and she is Linda Shepard, who I want to talk to about something outside of this building. Ooh, you have, Linda is a project person, folks, ever since I've known her. What's your project this week? All right, we'll come back to it because we're going to sit and chat just for a minute with John Martinez so we can get him to sit down. Don't worry about it, John. Just put the headphones on and you're with us. All right, get that. There you go. Look at that.
Hi, hello, Art.
Hi, John. So let's talk about this sand sculpture competition. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, man, that's a hard question to answer right off the bat. About 25 years I've been carving sand.
What got you into it?
Snow. I started carving snow in Frankenmuth, met a whole lot of people that I just fell in love with and wanted to do it all year, but you can't carve snow all year, so we decided to bring in a pile of sand.
But it's not just any sand, is it? It's
No.
quarry sand?
This is quarry sand. We get it from a little pit in Bridgeport, and it has a lot of clay in it, so it compacts.
So it adheres and sticks together.
Yes, and plus it does have these little grains of sand that they kind of connect together like puzzle pieces.
So when you design a piece and you sculpt that piece, from the time it's done, assuming Mother Nature is favorable, how long does it last?
It can last anywhere from a week to a month, to several months. We just did some in Escanaba, and they're still standing along Lake Michigan in Escanaba. So if it doesn't take a beating there, I don't know where it will. But they're still standing after more than a week. So they're very durable, and they're designed to shed the water, so they don't collect water, and they don't collapse from the water. It just sheds it off, and it loses a little detail here and there, but they're very durable.
So within the sculpting community, are there divisions?
We have divided our competition up into 3 divisions this year. We have amateurs, semi-pros, and professionals.
What's a semi-pro?
It's in between the two. We found ourselves with what they're called master carvers, and they're technically not allowed to carve outside of their class. So we've kind of created a class for that particular group of people to come in.
So they're under the semi-pro label, but they're master carvers.
Right.
And how many carvers will we see this weekend?
Oh, you'll have about 30 artists that will create. That's backwards. We're going to have 60 artists creating about 30 sculptures.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's.
And typically, how long does it take you to do? I mean, you have 48 hours, but how long does it take to do one?
On a good day, about 3 days with a good team of people will take 3 days. But
now,
that's a little more sand than what we're working with now.
Most people who live near a coast or anything have gone to the beach, and they've made sand castles and all of that stuff. This is not the same thing, is it? The sand is different.
The sand is different. The concept, the process is pretty similar. We use a lot of the stuff we learned when we were kids. Just getting in the sand, and you put that sand in the bucket, you flip it upside down, you turn it over, you got a form. You start carving down from there. We just use bigger forms.
Yeah, much. Have you been in the art community?
I thrive in the art community, yeah. I mean, at least my social circle, the people that I deal with on a regular basis are all from an art community. Might not be the same one that you're familiar with, but it is definitely an art community.
Is that how you make your living? Or?
Yes, sir.
So you have been an artist.
I have been an artist. I'm a former teacher about 13, 14 years ago, and decided to try my luck, test my faith, jump out into it, and become a starving artist. You're on the radio. You can't see that I'm definitely not starving.
No, got it. So what type of art did you do? And do you do?
I started off as a photographer, believe it or not.
Oh, no, that's a good one.
All of a sudden, everybody had a phone in their hand, and they have a camera in their phone, so everybody become a photographer. So I kind of started painting, and we do murals, and we do the carving. A lot of ephemeral art, like the sand carving out here.
Were you involved in the silos?
No, I was not. No.
We did have some local artists, I know.
Yeah, a few of them I knew.
But you just got done with the mural at the rail trail, and that is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where?
The rail trail on Strobel Road.
Yeah.
The trailhead for the trail that goes to
That's the
St. Charles.
Yeah,
right there at the parking lot.
No, tough to go
500 feet of fence that we painted, over 3,000 square feet.
Huh.
It was quite a task.
Well, that sounds wonderful. So, 12 noon today, trowels up.
They start working.
You're doing.
Yep, they pick up their tools at noon, and they will work fast and furiously for the next 48 hours, and things will polish up tomorrow morning, and they'll look really, really nice by Saturday morning.
All right, good, because I'm a judge. I hope so.
Yeah.
All right, well, John, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Go out and get everything ready to go.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. John Martinez, an artist who is responsible for what's happening out in the parking lot of the Point here at M47 and M46. And it's not a business disruptor, it's a business enhancer, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's just so great to see everybody that comes out to see what's going on. When we bought the building back in 2017, my husband and I, we just wanted to have a place of community. I mean, it was really a place of commerce, community, a place you wanted to come and sit, and it's taken us a few years and a flood, and life happens when you lay the best plans, but here we are. And
So-
people come and they'll get a donut, then go down to Sips, get their favorite coffee, sit out and watch the hummingbirds on the back deck. Some people will come here and work all day. We had somebody that had breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the same day.
So, when you bought the Point,
To the
A-frame,
chagrin of most people who know
I
me,
was
they
going to
went,
say,
"What are you
did
doing?"
they say what?
Yes, my own children went, "What are you and Dad doing?" Oh my goodness! But guess what? They don't say anymore.
Well, you're kind of a visionary when it comes to those things. Now let's talk about another one. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to take a break. Then we're going to come back and talk about another one that I started before, but John came along, so we'll go back to it. Talking to Linda Shepard. The sand sculpture contest starts at 12 noon today here at the Point. Let's call it Miles Market. It's easier to identify that way. And we will be
At
back.
Crystal Clear Hearing in Saginaw.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. We're talking to Linda Shepard, who owns the Point, Miles Market, Sips, Pinnacle Realty, and more. And the and more is what I want to talk about now because a couple of years ago, when there were standing dams and the lakes were lakes, you bought the Sanford Marina.
Yes, I did.
And you bought the Sanford Marina, and then what happened?
Well, we bought it in December of 19, and during COVID, we fixed it all up, new shelves, new everything. We got cleared open May 19 at 1 o'clock. We were ready to go. Health department said, you can open. And by 8:30 to 9 o'clock that night, everything was gone. Down the river it went.
It was amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, I can't believe it's been 5 years, but that was my retirement plan.
But realistically, Linda, most people would have thrown up their arms and said walk away from it. You didn't do that. You kept it.
I did.
And now you're at the point of going in and getting it ready to open up again.
I can hardly sit here. I am so excited, to be honest. I mean, this is all I've been doing all week. Like, the minute the sand sculpture event is over, I try to put brakes on myself because I think about too many things at one time. But I met with my construction contractor, my gas guy. I'm recreating it, but I'm making it bigger, better, more interesting. It's going to have a lot of the same feels that Miles Market has. We're going to be doing the sandwiches. I cannot contain my excitement because next April 1st, I'm hoping to be open.
The only difference now is that you can build a dock without worrying about the water.
Yes. I mean, we're doing all that this fall because there was a big, everybody probably saw it on the news this morning. The Four Lakes Task Force had their big meeting last night. Everything's in. We're ready to get the water back in. So this fall, I'll be putting the docks in, doing all the concrete, everything on the outside of the building. And then during the winter months, we'll be putting the hoods in, everything on the inside. And then April, hopefully, I'm sitting on the dock watching
now you're
people.
going to do marine fuel, so you have
Yes.
to get gas pumps
Rec
in and all that
rec
stuff.
fuel, gas pumps, just like it was, but we're putting in a full restaurant, takeout restaurant.
It's all new.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole new thing.
Because it's gutted right now to the walls. Everything's right down to the studs
And if I understand it right, it's the only commercial property
on the lake.
on the lake.
Yep.
right? This
Yep.
is Sanford, by the way, folks.
This is
we're talking about.
Sanford, yep. You just go up M13, turn at the trailer store left, and come see me.
Are
We're
they going to
gonna
clear
have fun.
out some of the scrub before they put the water back in?
They
or is it-
did. They've been doing it for the last 4 summers. They got Clearty to do it, so they've taken out all the petrified wood because that was the biggest thing. If
Right.
people voted on it, you had to do your propeller a lot because of the petrified wood. They tried a lot. My understanding is, and I'm not an expert on this, so if I say something wrong, don't get mad at me. But my understanding from people is that they were there for so long, they tried to blast them, they tried to get them out of there, and they couldn't. Well, now, when the lake comes back, it is going to be a great lake because everything has been cleared out. And all the junk is gone from the floods. It's just going to be a nice sandy bottom. Well, with a few birch trees that are
There'll be
little.
a few
but-
things in there.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
It's just,
And did they give you a date?
It's everywhere from March to October. At some point, it will totally be filled up. They are talking more, I think, May. They're really pushing for that memorial. Somebody said it was going to be 51 days once they block the water. I mean, there's so much going on. I don't have all the facts, and I don't want to say stuff that not sure on.
But said they've told you at least once they start to fill, they figure it'll take
51 days, yep.
To have a lake back again.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Can you hardly wait? I mean,
It's going to be something. It's going to be something.
Just think of everybody who lost everything and just been waiting. It's just going to be a party, I think, for the whole summer.
Where are you on the lake relative to the dam?
We're 4 miles north off of M30. So if you go over 10, look to your right, 4 miles, and we're right up there. So we're kind of midway in the lake.
So you're on the north side of town.
We're on the north side of town. Yep, we're way up on the north side. On the east side, yes. So I get to watch the beautiful sunset every night.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're here today. But my mind's thinking about other stuff right now. It's super exciting.
I'm sitting here saying, all right, do I ask her what's next? And I'm saying, nah, don't do it.
Sanford, just because it was taken away and I never got to open, I only made a few dollars off the ramp, and then it was gone. And you say, okay, and I did kind of go in the fetal position for about a day.
Yeah, that's not productive for you, though.
No, and it wasn't. I mean, and if we look at it as a whole, this tragedy just happened in Texas with their flood.
Yep.
We lost no one. Our alarm system, our police officers, our dispatchers. I just talked to one gentleman yesterday, one of our nice firefighters here that was in dispatch at that time. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got killed. We lost a lot, but in the big scheme of life...
Yeah, compared to what happened in Texas.
No, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. Yes, we lost a lot of stuff, and a lot of people did lose their whole entire home, all their family pictures, all their stuff, but their life is intact, and you have to go on.
Yeah. I have said, and it still bugs me, but it's done. I have said that the assessment is like hitting them when they're down.
Oh, that's beating us.
I really objected to that.
I object to it, but there's nothing I can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Before it's ruled, it's done.
You take it or you sell and get out and go someplace else. And a lot of people did.
Well, and absolutely.
Yep. But to me, being the only commercial property, and I was offered a couple of times to sell it over the last few years. I just don't want to do it because I want to rebuild it. I want to see it this functioning
Put
place.
so much in it.
And it's like this. I'm sitting here watching people look at our donuts and having a great time. There's a ton of people here having conversations. This is what I want at Sanford. That this whole feeling of community. That's what I want. So
well, and it takes a visionary. I mean, we're sitting here in Miles Market. This was a gymnasium.
Yep.
In effect.
During the COVID, yep.
During COVID years. It was just a big empty shell gymnasium.
Yeah.
When they left, you said, we'll put a restaurant in.
Yep. There was a few more steps, but for the most part is what can we do? And, we went to the township and asked what we can do, and here we are. Yep. And
you got a bar, you got the restaurant.
No.
And it's worked. And you got music on the weekends?
Oh, yeah, we have to talk about that. I forgot. During the Sand Sculpture event. So Friday night, Nick Furlow will be here playing from 7 to 9 out on the dock door. And if you come, I'll explain to you why it's called the Dock Door Series, because it has something to do with Sanford. Everything I have is tied in. And then on Saturday night from 7 to 9, the Lawson Brothers will be here playing. And bring your chairs or bring a blanket, because it's kind of like a bowl out back. You can sit on the edge and just listen to great music. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. And it's just a great time.
And if it doesn't, you move inside.
We move inside. If it's horrible, that's the nice. We can just move it right inside. We did that a couple of weeks ago. Joel was coming to play, and it was so hot. Nobody was going to come because it's just too hot. Nobody wants to sit over there. This weekend looks like it's going to be pretty good. So.
Yeah, it does. It's like the weather's going to be decent. All right, we are here at the Point, M47 and M46 in Saginaw, the former ISD A-frame building that everybody was so familiar with. And it is now the home of Pinnacle Realty, SIPS, Miles Market, some other stuff, and a sand sculpture